And we are delighted to announce that we will be performing at Summer Sonic 2026! Summer Sonic で会いましょう。
国民的なアーティストで、僕一回ライブ見に行ったんですけど、10万人のアリーナがあるんだけど、
アリーナ
10万人のアリーナがあるんですか？
そこ2日間ソールドアウトしてます。
20万人
20万人
すごい。
彼らがサマーソニックに出たいっていうことで、もう逆オファー的にこう言ってくれたんで、もう今年はぜひということで。
There's a difference between being invited to perform and being personally sought out. And if the reports surrounding SB19 and Summer Sonic are accurate, then what just happened may be one of the biggest signs yet that SB19's global rise is becoming impossible for the music industry to ignore. Because according to circulating fan reports and discussions online, Summer Sonic CEO Naoki Shimizu allegedly traveled all the way to the Philippines just to witness SB19's Simula at Wakas concert live at the Philippine Arena. And after seeing them perform, he was reportedly so impressed that SB19 ended up being invited to Summer Sonic 2026 in Japan. Now, whether every detail of that story gets officially confirmed later or not, one thing is already undeniable. SB19 is no longer being viewed as just a local P-pop act. They're being evaluated like an international live performance force. And that changes everything. This is bigger than a festival invite. A lot of people outside the fandom may look at this and think, okay, they got booked for a festival. Cool. But people who understand the music industry know this situation feels different. Why? Because major festival organizers do not casually gamble on artists, especially festivals with the reputation and scale of Summer Sonic. Summer Sonic is one of the biggest music festivals in Asia. Over the years, it has hosted global names across pop, rock, hip-hop, EDM, and alternative music. This isn't some random showcase event. This is a festival where artists are expected to command crowds, perform under pressure, and deliver on an international stage. And for SB19 to be included in the lineup says something important. Industry executives clearly believe they belong there. That matters, because for years, P-pop groups have had to fight against stereotypes that they were only local versions of bigger Asian acts. But SB19 has slowly broken that narrative apart through consistency, live vocals, choreography, songwriting involvement, and relentless touring. Now the industry response is starting to reflect that. The Philippine Arena moment changed something. One thing people keep saying after Simula at Wakas is this: the scale felt different. The energy felt different. The confidence felt different. This didn't feel like a group trying to prove they deserved a seat at the table anymore. It felt like a group that already knew they belonged there. And that matters because live concerts are where global reputations are truly built. Not social media clips, not streaming numbers, not fandom wars. Live performance. That's the ultimate test. Can you control a massive crowd? Can you maintain energy for hours? Can you sound stable live? Can you create unforgettable moments? That's what festival organizers care about. And SB19 has been building a reputation for exactly that. So if the Summer Sonic CEO truly witnessed that concert in person, it's not hard to understand why the reaction would be strong. Because SB19's greatest weapon has never just been their music. It's the experience. Why Japan is a huge deal. Breaking into Japan is not easy. Let's be honest about that. Japan has one of the most powerful and self-sustaining music industries in the world. Artists don't automatically succeed there just because they're famous somewhere else. Japanese audiences value performance quality, artistry, discipline, and consistency. And Japanese media can be extremely selective about foreign acts. That's why this Summer Sonic opportunity matters so much. Because this is not just exposure, it's validation. SB19's timing couldn't be better. Another reason this moment feels important is because SB19 currently looks more prepared than ever for global expansion. Think about where they are right now. The group has stronger individual identities, improved production quality, growing international fandoms, more confidence in interviews, stronger stage command, clearer artistic direction. This isn't rookie SB19 anymore. This is a battle-tested group that has spent years surviving criticism, industry doubt, and impossible expectations. And ironically, those struggles may be the exact reason they now stand out internationally. Because they learned how to perform with hunger. A lot of artists debut with huge company support behind them. SB19 didn't have that luxury. They had to build slowly, fight for visibility, fight for respect, fight against mockery, fight against comparisons. That process created resilience, and audiences can feel that authenticity when they perform. The industry may have underestimated them. One of the most fascinating things about SB19's journey is how often the industry seemed unsure how to categorize them. 2 Filipino for K-pop spaces, 2 internationally styled for traditional OPM spaces, 2 performance-heavy for some local expectations, 2 unconventional to fit standard formulas. But now that confusion is becoming their advantage. Because SB19 doesn't move exactly like anyone else. They've created a lane that blends Filipino identity, global performance standards, self-involvement in music, intense choreography, emotional storytelling, multilingual reach, and internationally, uniqueness matters. The global market already has enough copycats. Artists who stand out emotionally and culturally are the ones people remember. That's why SB19's rise feels different from trends that disappear quickly. There's substance underneath the hype. The pressure will also be massive. But let's be real. With opportunities come expectations. The Summer Sonic stage won't just be another concert. It'll likely be one of the most closely watched performances of SB19's international career. Why? Because first impressions matter heavily in festival culture. A strong performance could create explosive momentum. A weak performance would immediately fuel criticism. That's the reality. But if there's one thing SB19 has consistently shown, it's their ability to rise under pressure. In fact, some of their biggest moments happened precisely because expectations were high. And that pressure may actually work in their favor. Because SB19 tends to perform like they have something to prove every single time they step on stage. Fans are watching history happen. What makes this era emotional for longtime supporters is seeing how far the group has come. People remember when SB19 was mocked online, ignored by major platforms, dismissed by casual audiences. Now look at the conversation. International festivals, Japanese media, global reactions, cross-border recognition. That transformation didn't happen overnight. Took years of persistence. And that's probably why fans feel so protective and emotional about milestones like this. Because they witnessed the struggle before the recognition arrived. The most important part? This still feels like the beginning. That might be the scariest part for the industry. SB19 still feels like a group evolving upward. They haven't peaked creatively yet. They haven't peaked globally yet. They haven't fully maximized their international reach yet. And if opportunities like Summer Sonic go well, things could accelerate very quickly. Especially now that more international executives seem willing to take a closer look. Because once the right people see an artist live, perceptions can change instantly. And maybe that's the real story here. Not that SB19 got invited, but that one of Asia's biggest music executives may have seen something powerful enough to fly across countries, witness it personally, and decide, this group belongs on a much bigger stage. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Starwave to keep enjoying more SB19 updates.